We all have people on our social media who seem to have the perfect lives, but do they really? How many times have we looked at them and wished it were us? What if I told you that 75% of people actually lie on social media? Social media is problematic because it creates unrealistic life expectations, made worse by the fact that influencers have figured out how to make money off of selling this lie, which can possibly be solved by giving more exposure to the truth of the matter. But first, let's talk about unrealistic life expectations. The DailyMail.uk, last accessed on November 5th, tells us that 37% of people surveyed prefer their filtered face to their real ones, with 23% saying that using filters has actually warped their own perception of what they look like. These negative effects are made much worse on young people. Parents.com, last accessed on November 5th, tells us that 87% of teens use filters, with 20% using them on every single post. Another issue is that people on social media always seem to be doing something exciting and fun and just always out there living a great life. But the fact is, most people just don't post the boring part of their daily lives. NakedSecurity.sophos.com, last accessed on November 5th, actually tells us that 31% of people surveyed say they only post the exciting parts of their lives, leaving out all the boring details, and that it actually makes them look far more active than they actually are. I know from personal experience, I have several social media accounts, across the different platforms. I don't post very often, but when I do, it's typically when I'm on vacation or doing something exciting. So if someone that I did not know were judging my life based on my social media accounts, it would definitely seem that I live a far more exciting and active life than I actually, in fact, do. Um, but it's just one of those things. It's the way it is. Now that you're aware of the issue, let's talk about one of the major causes. The emergence of the influencer as a career choice has greatly compounded the issue. Some people who wish to become influencers will start telling these lies to gain followers. And as they start doing that, they're creating a false persona of which everyone else is comparing their lives to. So according to influencermarketinghub.com, last accessed on December 1st, they tell us to become a micro influencer, you have to have between 1,000 and 40,000 followers, with macro influencers having between 40,000 and 1 million followers. Once these numbers have been reached, there's lots of different ways for these influencers to make money. According to neilschaefer.com, last accessed on December 1st, it's at this level where several different sponsorships are available, as well as other marketing opportunities. So what that means is for us as social media users, the important thing to remember is if the product you're using is free, you yourself is the product. So according to vulcanpost.com, last accessed on December 1st, if you're not paying for a product, you are the product. So what that means is that these social media sites are selling access to you, the consumer, me, the consumer, to different marketing companies and different advertisers, as well as to these influencers themselves. And it's not really a new thing. Anyone who has ever watched network television or listened to the radio, it's the same situation. The music is free, the shows are free to watch, but again, advertisers have access, so you are the product in those situations as well. So it's not a new concept. So now we've looked at kind of the cause. Is there a solution? Well, more in-depth a look at the issue could actually help show young people that life is not perfect. And another big thing is that hopefully this influencer marketing is on a downward trend. So some influencers have actually realized the damage that they're doing. They're starting to speak out. Buzzworthy.com, last accessed on December 1st, talks about how they interviewed several different influencers, and they revealed, before and after photos and how much work it actually takes to perpetuate this myth of the perfect life. Children and teenagers are certainly the group most at risk for this, and they're always going to get the most influence from their own peers. But parents and teachers exposing kids to this information about these influencers speaking out will certainly help. And luckily, influencer marketing is trending downward. RollingStone.com, last accessed on December 1st, says that influencer marketing is slowly declining in trust and that people are beginning to rely on their own peer groups more for purchasing decisions. And as the marketing dollars go away for these people, influencers will not be as prevalent and will not have the same effect that they once did. So there have always been an unrealistic standard to which we can compare our lives. That's nothing new. All we can really do is lessen the impact, considering how much more serious this issue has become in the social media age. So today I've explained how social media is problematic because it creates unrealistic and unhealthy life expectations, made worse by the fact that influencers are profiting off of this. And this can be solved by giving the truth of the situation more exposure. So remember, when you see people on social media who seem to have perfect lives, they don't.